What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel, and today, in celebration of the kickoff of the 2023 NFL season tonight between the Chiefs and the Lions, we are here today for a 5-year Detroit Lions Madden 24 rebuild. They've been a top requested team, one of the handful of teams that just keep popping up. Hey, C4, when are you going to rebuild? And I felt like, you know what better day than today when all eyes are on the Detroit Lions. Can they shock the Super Bowl champions? Can they shock Patrick Mahomes and potentially the Travis Kelce-less Kansas City Chiefs? It's gonna be an interesting game. I think I don't want to say low key, bro, like Tim the Tap Man, but like this could be a great game. I can see this game absolutely being a shootout, and I kind of hope it is, because as a neutral, as long as they're not playing my Philadelphia Eagles, as long as it's not negatively affecting my Philadelphia Eagles, I'm here to kind of like the Lions. You know, Dan Campbell, an easy coach to root for. I love the draft class. I think like that's something that endears me to the Lions and the Lions fans, is so many people hated their draft, and I was one of the ones that's like, okay, I get it. You know, going running back and linebacker, not popular, not premier positions. Those are like two of my highest graded players in the draft. Love the addition of Sam Laporta. Love the value of Brian Branch. I love what they're doing. And I love the pick of Sewell. And I love the pick of Amon-Ra St. Brown. And Jameson Williams has some upside. And the success and turnaround and career redemption of Jared Goff is always something to keep an eye on. On the defensive side, you got an absolute freak. You didn't overthink the pick and take Trevon Walker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like what they're doing, man. So taking a look at the Lions squad, I have every sense of optimism that our streak is going to stay alive. So far, we're 5-6 rebuilds into Madden 24, and we have yet to lose. We have been at year 3, 4, and 5. I think we won it once in year 2. We have won the Super Bowl in every rebuild. We are going to lose eventually. It's going to happen. I just don't know if we'll be here today. Now, in Madden's past, Detroit has kind of been like a cursed team where it felt like no matter how good of a super team we built, couldn't win a Super Bowl. But I think Dan Campbell's going to have his guys ready. So, looking at the offense, Decker, Jackson, Ragnow, one of the best centers in the NFL. We got Glasgow and Peanut Sewell, who is one of the best young tackles in the NFL. Superstar dev. I mean, if you're kind of going into the landscape of Madden, he's probably the best Madden right tackle in franchise mode, given his age, dev trait, and upside and ceiling. So we got that on the offensive line. We got Sam Laporta coming out of Iowa. Now, as a Philadelphia Eagle fan, watching him, he reminded me a lot of Dallas Goedert. Maybe didn't have the ridiculous, spectacular catch for trying to equate it to Madden that Dallas Goedert would have. But I think Sam Laporta is a good athlete, can catch the football well, can block well, runs tight end screens nice. I think that's a good get for them at that tight end position, especially, you know, because he had to, I don't know if it was, I don't necessarily burn bridges, but things did not end well with TJ Hutchinson, let's just say, with the Detroit Lions. I think Laporta, great replacement. We have Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of the best underrated slot wide receivers in the NFL. 88 with the superstar dev with the boost. He is going to be big time for us in this rebuild. I've seen him have ridiculous numbers. I've seen him win Offensive Player of the Year in Madden 24, so I'm going to need some of those seasons here today. We got Jameson Williams, who's one of the more what-ifs right now in the NFL. No one really knows, what's he going to be. Hasn't been able to get on the field. What was it? Did he gambling? Was that what was going on? He's had injuries, and he had the gambling shit. But undeniable speed, 98 speed, 95 acceleration, 94 agility. Ridiculous athlete, but wild card. I think a wild card is the best way to classify what Jameson Williams is in the NFL is for the Detroit Lions. But if you get him firing all cylinders, I mean, we're probably one wide receiver away from like having a complete offense that's going to be here for the majority of the rebuild, because we got Montgomery, we got Jahmyr Gibbs, the rookie out of Alabama, who, let's be honest, he's really our running back one. We're not going to have this be the David Montgomery show. David Montgomery is going to be our power back. But this is a rebuild. We are thinking about the long term, so RB1 will be Gibbs. We definitely will still utilize Montgomery. Montgomery's a really solid running back. But you don't burn a first-round pick on an electrifying running back just to have him, stunt his growth by being a backup. But all things on the offense need to be going through this guy. And this is the guy we're going to win or lose on the back of Jared Goff. We're going to make a decision whether or not we're going to pay Jared Goff. Very similar to Detroit Lions in real life. And I almost feel like there's a little bit of a notion that, like, Jared Goff's not the guy. I feel like in real life, I'm a Detroit Lions fan, very cautious in terms of handing out a contract. But You know, as long as they get the OC, him and the OC are on the same page. They are adding more skill position spots. He's a great offensive line. 4,400 yards, 29 touchdowns, 7 picks. That ain't bad. That is a playoff caliber quarterback stat line. So is Jared Goff a guy that obviously, you know, the happened with McVay and the Rams and all that stuff, but I mean, maybe. That's a maybe, and we're going to give him an honest shot. Defensively, this is where the team's starting to turn a little bit of corner on the defensive line. You got Houston, the second-year player out of Jackson State with the dev trait, one of Prime's guys, Coach Prime and McNeil. Amon-Ra, but the big get is Big Dog here, which I'm surprised he's still on a star dev. 9 sacks, 3 picks last year. Star dev? I feel like he probably should be superstar, but look, they gave him the cool face scan. They gave him his little war paint thing. That's kind of badass, right? We're going to make him a team captain. Hopefully that ups his play. Hopefully he respects and is motivated. But I need to get him up a depth rate. There's no way. Aidan Hutchinson should be a star dev. Rest of the front seven, we got Angeloni here, Florida Gator, got the veteran, but we're going to primarily be in nickel, and it's going to be Rodrigo, whatever you want to call him, who was a star of Hard Knocks last year, and we got Jack Campbell, who was one of my highest graded players in the draft. I had him as a top 20 player, 6'5", 250. We got the hidden dev, great athlete, 84 speed, 90 acceleration, 86 tackles, 77 block shed, 81 pursuit. Absolutely a Dan Campbell guy. Wonder if they're related. Honestly, that's probably why he got drafted in the first round, but very high expectations that Jack Campbell is going to be a franchise linebacker for us. Rest of the secondary, well, the corner room is probably the weakest room, especially as a term of dev trait. You got Sutton here coming from the Steelers, Manuel Mosley from the 49ers, and the drop-off is kind of significant. We're going to go with Kirby Joseph at free safety. It's because he has the dev trait over Tracy Walker. Honestly, let's throw him up on, I don't know what kind of value exists for Tracy Walker. We don't need that much depth at safety because we're too deep at strong safety. We're going to have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, CJ, GJ, which, you know, a lot of Eagle fans aren't happy with how things ended. I think his agent absolutely screwed him because Philly gave him more guaranteed money. He just took the 1 year with Detroit. But end of the day, for me personally, again, don't dislike the Lions. So it's not like he went to the Cowboys or somewhere else in the NFC East, or went to the Chiefs, or went to a really big contender in the AFC. And I was always a Gator fan first. He was one of my favorite players at the University of Florida, and even though things didn't work out with the Eagles, he was awesome for the Eagles last year, missing some games, still finishing with 6 interceptions, and I hope he plays well for the Detroit Lions. But we also got too deep at that spot because Brian Branch, one of the best value picks from the draft, falling to Detroit. So what we're going to do is we are going to have Brian Branch be our nickel. So, you know, he is a guy, he's a DB. He could be a nickel corner. He could be a safety. So we're going to have Mosley and Sutton on the outside with Branch on the inside, but definitely want to go sooner than later. I think D-tackle, interior defensive line, corner, those are the two really big spots that we need to try to address here for this Lions team to really have a complete roster that we'd feel comfortable with saying, yes, that is a Super Bowl contending squad. But going into year one, let's get an idea. Let's get a vibe. What are they going to pass the vibe test? Is Jared Goff going to be a quarterback that can get us 30 touchdowns and thrive? Or is he going to be a guy that struggles to have more touchdowns and interceptions and gives us a gigantic question about what we need to do with the quarterback spot in this rebuild? Let's see, man. I have no idea what to expect, to be honest with you. But hopefully, when all is said and done, we keep our Super Bowl streak alive here in Madden 24 rebuilds. The NFL season is officially here, and I'm not so sure about you guys, but my Sundays are starting to look exactly like this. Me in the Birds jersey, parked in front of the TV all day, and I've partnered up with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official partner of the National Football League, to bring all new customers an exciting way to join in on the action right now. New customers, download the DraftKings app, use my promo code C4, bet just $5, and boom, $200 in bonus bets hits your account instantly. So don't wait any longer, get some skin in the game, and download the DraftKings app right now. That's right, new customers who bet just $5 on any wager will receive $200 in bonus bets instantly. Stay in on the action and use your $200 in bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets together from the same game for a shot at an even bigger payout. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry, you can still join in on the action with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have a shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings app now. New customers who use my promo code C4 and bet just $5 on any wager will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code C4 only at DraftKings. So this for Jared Goff. I don't know if I've ever got a ×8 multiplier in this drill. So he is dinking and dunking with the best of them. Oh, I get jumped. There we go. Streak. That's the highest streak I think I've built. There we go. Tutty. Forgot Marvin Jones Jr. I mean, I saw him. It's like, you know what? Wasn't he here before? Like, isn't this a second go? And Amon-Ra needs to catch that. Isn't that a second go around, Marvin Jones Jr.? Who's the wide receiver one when he was there? Megatron? Is he that old? Been in the league that long? All right, we got to go for the shot here. Oh, we'll take silver. Man, it's been a minute since I've done this drill with like a truly just burner of a running back. And I will always remain in the side of like speed backs are always going to get gold on this. Like when I'm doing this with James Conner, there is no shot that I'm getting gold. Like I'm getting 2 to 3. Oh no! 107 off. God damn. With that fast running back, almost always get gold. So I had to double up here as I just literally put on the worst rep and dominate here with Jack Campbell, the rookie. Take it out. Set the standard for the rookies because you saw Jahmyr Gibbs here by 100 points not get gold. That's an effort thing. You miss it by that little. So you take someone like Jack Campbell, you're going to remind him that we're going to set the tone. We're going to bite some kneecaps. We're going to practice the Detroit line way. We're going to smash you 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Jack Campbell here trying to become the next great linebacker since, I mean, with all, Eric Kendricks, I guess, but he wants to be Urlacher 2.0. That was pretty badass. Before the end of the preseason, Marvin Jones, the old head, coming back, wants to take Jameson Williams, a player absolutely needs a mentor, given the fact of his inability to stay on the field. So we're going to work on the long routes, because as it stands right now with Amon-Ra in the slot, even though he's your primary read, you still need your wide receiver one to be your outside playmaker, and that needs to be Jameson Williams. So we'll take these 2 nice boost, +2 release, +2 deep route running. We also have our training camp standout. I hope it's Aidan Hutchinson in terms of like upside and ceiling. I want him to get, and it is. And we're very much going to focus on rushing the passer and get a nice +3 to his power and finesse move. The trade market for Tracy Walker wasn't the best, but we did have to find the Chargers here who do need depth at safety. Find someone like play back there with Derwin James. So we were able to dump Walker and his salary. Had to throw in a 2025 7th round pick, so that's next year's draft. But we were able to recoup a 2025 4th round pick. Decent value, I guess. So just because week 1 is tonight, who is winning this matchup in the eyes of Madden between Detroit and the Kansas City Chiefs? I think we probably know who's going to win. But I would love to be pleasantly surprised with a shocked Detroit Lion upset victory. And, well, I don't think it went particularly well. Now, I don't know why there was a patch to the game that can't let me see the score right away. But we fall 31-20. Do they both get a passing touchdown? I have a bet right now. That's both Mahomes and Jared Goff throw a touchdown. And that would be pretty cool. So Goff, not the best performance. Could not get the running game when Jared Goff's your leading rusher. Not ideal. Amon-Ra with a decent showing. 8 catches, 99 yards, and a touchdown. Now, James, how long is he suspended for? Like, should we make this 13 tackles, Jack Campbell, 2 sacks, Hutchinson? I'd love to see that. Isn't Jameson Williams suspended for like half the season? You know what? I think he is. 6-game suspension, I believe. I'll add 6. We will see Jameson Williams week 8. We'll keep it in line. We'll keep it realistic, even though that's very annoying because our wide receiver depth is very poor. We're gonna stay. We'll keep it fair. We'll keep it fair. We broke the law having him play. So we're going to bump him way down the depth chart, and we will see you after the bye week, Mr. Gambler. Use code C4, DraftKings.com. It's not even promoted right now, but they're good folks over there. We got a breakout, however, from that Chiefs, and it should be Hutch. Oh, it's not Hutch. 2 sacks. We got a Lee McNeil, normal dev defensive tackle. We're looking to make the jump up to a star. Hold the Seahawks less than 100 yards rushing. You know the drill. Attainable. These are the easiest ones to get in the sim when you do get the breakout. But a team like Seattle, with Kenneth Walker, with Zach Charbonnet, they like to run the football. So 2 games in, we start 1-1. I think Detroit versus Seattle, that's a close matchup. We lose. Okay. And no dev. Wow. All right. This couldn't have started any worse. So after serving his 6-game suspension, Jameson Williams is back in the lineup. And a big hit. Absolutely a big hit for this offense. And I think our record's slight reflection of that. 3-4, maybe a little worse than Detroit would expect to be. But we are tied for second in the division. And definitely can have more than enough chances to catch Green Bay. They're only 2 games ahead. We got to get hot here a little bit. But let's take a look at our contracts and decide who is worthy of a deal. Well, what do we got? Do we have any 5th-year options this year? We do for Sewell. That's obviously going to be a pickup. We got Riley Patterson at kicker. I am going to try to keep him here. Give him a 3-year deal. They traded for him. He's my fantasy kicker in both my fantasy leagues. Yeah, I know. You always want to go with the dome team, dome kicker. I think they're going to be a somewhat potent offense. James Houston. I want to continue his development here. If we get, especially get him on a really affordable deal. He just needs more time to think it over, apparently. So that AKA will sweeten the pot a little bit. And we should get him all across the line. Then we'll give Jonah Jackson a 4-year deal. Keep him until he's 30. And we got CJ GJ, 4-year, 37 mil. Give him the money he's looking for. So we'll come back to the table. Should be very easy. A layup to get Houston to sign next week. And hopefully, with Jameson Williams now back in the lineup after serving his suspension, we can go on a run. We can get hot here and challenge to win the division. Green Bay is not better than us. We have a better roster. All right, been on a little bit of a roll here. Last week, Jared Goff got Offensive Player of the Week. We're 7-5. We're now tied for first in the division. And we have a breakout on the defensive line. And it is for James. Man, why can't we get these for Aidan Hutchinson? James Houston on a star. Try to make a jump to a superstar, which would be very surprising. But if he could do it, and we get a victory over the Chicago Bears, and we maintain our spot on top of the division, it'll be a hell of a week here, week 14 for the Detroit Lions. We end up winning the game. Nice, 8-5. Breakout for Houston. Did not hit. Still hoping one for Hutchinson. Come on, Hutchinson will hit. He gets like a sack or 2 sacks a game. What? We finish out the year #1 offense, even though not really. We had the 12th passing, 13th rushing, but we had the most points per game, which is great. We had a top 10 defense with a top 5 passing defense. Huge. We won the division, and we were the 1 seed. Somehow, some way, the little engine that could... it's not... That's a reasonable record. I think, like, Detroit right now, your team, it's like 8-11. You're hoping for 8. Anything less than 8 is a failure. 11's probably your ceiling. Like, I think most... They must be the betting favorite. I don't know. I haven't looked yet. I probably should. See if I can make a little scratch there. I would assume Detroit is the favorites. Who else would it be? Minnesota? They lost, they lost a lot. No more... they're going through a little transition there. So, hell yeah, man. Detroit. 11-6. Why not? But the 1 seed... How bad was the NFC this year? Did it just cannibalize itself? We are the second... Well, there's other teams that have Ravens, Steelers, Bills, and Browns. All have better... Browns? What? But, hell yeah, baby. 1 seed in the NFC, year 1. Who did what? How did we get here? Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, I see that. 7 interceptions. Pains me a little bit to see that as an Eagle fan. Jared Goff, pretty good. Top 5, at least in passing touchdowns. 3,700 yards, 31 touchdowns, 6 picks. We got 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns from Gibbs. 5 and 16 for David Montgomery. So a really good rushing attack. 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns on 102 catches for St. Brown. Had to make up for lost time. Jameson Williams playing half a season, 51 catches, 742 yards, 5 tutties. He plays the full year. We might have 2,000-yard receivers on our squad. 640 and 5 for the rookie Sam Laporta. Decent year. Maybe get Jahmyr Gibbs a little bit more involved as a pass catcher, but all things considered, not bad. Sim numbers across the board. The rookie Jack Campbell, 124 tackles, 7 TFLs, 2 interceptions, 15 sacks, 15 TFLs for Aidan Hutchinson. Give this man a superstar. 16 TFLs, 6.5 sacks for McNeil, 4.5 sacks James Hughes. Like, how is he getting breakouts over him? Brutal. But 7 interceptions. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson got him already locked into that contract extension. Another player optimistic, especially with that. He's probably going to win DB of the year. Chance to go up to a superstar dev. Looking at the yearly awards, Mahomes wins the MVP. Jared Goff coming in at number 6 in the NFC. Amon-Ra St. Brown, top 5 for Offensive Player of the Year. Aidan Hutchinson, top 5 for Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Jahmyr Gibbs, which could be a dev trait role. He's on a star dev. Could jump up to a superstar. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Jack Campbell with the 2 picks that were absolutely memed on, at least as it stands in this rebuild. the best at their respective positions, which is huge. Jared Goff was a top 3 quarterback. Amon-Ra bound runner up to Cooper Kupp there for a wide receiver, and is someone that I probably need to speak to everybody out there that owns Cooper Kupp in fantasy football. Hopefully he can come back, only miss a couple weeks, and dominate. Aidan Hutchinson, top 3 in defensive lineman. GJ, best defensive back. I'm loving it, man. The individual success, the team success, everything is firing on all cylinders. First round bye in year 1 of a 5-year Detroit Lion rebuild. I never thought we'd see the day. Opening round, very winnable game. Carolina Panthers. Not really good at anything. To be honest with you, this would be a bad loss. This should be at least like our first collective playoff victory as a group. What happened? Fellas, what happened? On a platter and you scored 12. Took away the run game. Jack Campbell hold his head high. Rodrigo get it. Oh wow, that's a bad loss. All things considered, there's to a man nothing that the Panthers had that we don't have, that we aren't better at, and we got smoked. We didn't even make it competitive. Not all of our award winners, but we got 2 of them here. Hoping for some dev trades. First up, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson led the league interceptions on a star dev. And we get a very nice superstar role. Interceptions leader, DB of the year, superstar depth. Jahmyr Gibbs, offensive rookie of the year. He's on a star. We're looking to make the jump up to a superstar. Not always automatic. Definitely less of a hit rate in Madden 24 than Madden 23. But we get it there. Beautiful. Offensive rookie of the year, superstar dev. So we still have a couple players that we are optimistic will go up a dev trait. More so on the defensive side of the ball. Well, on the offensive side of the ball, Jahmyr Gibbs going up superstar is great. Amon-Ra, ooh, that is nice. X Factor dev. Amon-Ra St. Brown just straight up got it because he dominated. On the defensive side, Jack Campbell gets. Why didn't we get the skill? Oh, he's so close. Look at that. He's like 100 points less than that. What? How could he have an upgrade? 7151, 7151, and 7150 is how. Whatever. Jack Campbell, defensive rookie of the year, gets a superstar dev, but most importantly, the one that we were chasing all season long, 15 TFLs, 15 sacks, Aidan Hutchinson back where he rightfully belongs as a superstar pass rusher. We salute Marvin Jones for his service this year, taking Jameson Williams under his wing in a mentorship role. Goes out 12 years, real successful career, underrated wide receiver. He's going to be like one of those guys. When you think of like this decade, he's like, oh, remember Marvin Jones? He'll be a callback. Everyone's gonna be like, that's a great pull. I remember Marvin Jones. Ridiculous highlight reel catches. Underrated. We have a lot of money to spend on the open market. The market itself, not, pretty average, pretty mid in terms of who's available, but we desperately do need a right guard right now. Cesar Ruiz, 25 years old, 77, with a dev trait. Easy layup signing for us, so it kind of completes the offensive line. Really need to beef up the corner room. Wide receiver 3 in corner. Kind of where I'm looking. I was thinking about DPJ, Michigan guy. Bring him back to Michigan. But, I don't know. There's an element of, I always want my third wide receiver. Especially when now, we got Laporta. Laporta's kind of going to be our third wide receiver. Ideally, with Amon-Ra and Jameson Williams. You want that third guy to be like a rookie. On a rookie contract. I don't want to be paying him any type of decent free agency contract. I'd rather have it be more on the affordable side. D-tackle is another need, but just kind of a weak market, all things considered. And corner room, I'd rather, knowing that corner's usually a strong position in the draft, we could double dip at corner in the draft. We're going to wait a little bit for our pick, which I'm going to imagine the corners that you're never going to need to worry about are already gone. I did have the top corner. Oh, yeah, they're both gone. No. Daniel Porter looks to be great value, but that's a guy we get in the second round. 6'4", AA. D-tackle, another spot that I want to kind of focus on here a little bit. We got some guys. J.J. Parham, A, power move, B, finesse move, B, tackle, C, block shed. What's the athletic profile? It's pretty good. That guy might be a guy. I would like to add 2 defensive tackles. We have Earl Lowry, A, finesse move, B, block shed, as a finesse rusher. He probably has a really good combine. Elite acceleration, ran a 4.8. But he is also, I mean, that's still. But he's second, third round. Like, that's a guy. Is that a guy we go in the first round? You got Cliff James, your traditional nose tackle cheese pick, probably very high floor. B blocks at B tackle, double C's there. Elite strength, 40 reps on the bench press. So I don't necessarily know if the value is going D tackle in the first round. Other positions of need don't really have much. Corner, D tackle. I mean, third wide receiver. If there's someone that's like, holy, look at this guy. Does it? I mean, Amari Grant, probably best of the bunch. B catching traffic, A deep running, B release, 6 feet, 188, ran a 4.2. But again, the value is the value there. I honestly think right now, trading out of the first round, if we can, what can we get? That's probably our best option right now. If I can get an additional second and third round, get all those guys, might be best. So we're in the 2024 draft. We get offered a 2 years in the future first. I mean, we do pick up a third rounder. I don't hate that. Maybe it's a little. We get a fifth rounder there. Not really looking for a fifth. We get a 2, 3, and 4. First, fifth, a first this year, and a fourth. What are these offers? A first and second next year, and a sixth this year. First and second next year, fifth. A 2. Okay, here we go, Philly. The Eagles bringing it home. Get a second this year. Oh, no, that's junk. Second, fourth, and sixth. A 1, 2, and 5 from the Niners, I guess. This is a tough call, man. What would you guys do? Future first. I mean, maybe that one's the best. Because then by the time 2026 rolls around, that could be the time we say screw it and we want to trade multiple picks just to try to get up in the top 5, top 10. And we get a third round this year, which goes in that range of like the value players that we see. So, you know what? We'll do that. I'll do that. Our board is still full. It's almost like who's going to go first. And Amari Grant's still not even, top 5 at wide receiver available. At defensive tackle, if we want to go, I mean, I'm good with either Lowry or James. However that board, I think we got to grab our corner right now. I mean, get the corner still off. Do we go Lowry, 6'4", or do we go nose tackle? We'll go Lowry. Yes. Let's go. So we got pick 7 and 27. There's been a little bit of run on corners. So I'm feeling confident that we'll be able to get all of our guys. But we'll get Porter first because we need a corner. He's got to start for us. Double scheme fit for us. 6'4", A-man, A-press. 4'4". I mean, not prolific athlete. Not exactly what we're looking for here. But the rating should be decent. Let's go. Hidden depth. That's all we need. Oh, you don't need wide receiver. You don't need it. Cincinnati. No, brutal. Oh, I got to go see what that is. You know he's going to be good. You know it's going to be good. Now these third rounders. God damn it. I'm trading out, man. We'll get the Niners future third. I'm going to trade out of the other. I mean, I should have. How many times have I stressed? You see a guy, get a guy. We had 2/3 this year. Easily just package those 2/3, overpay, and make sure we grab that wide receiver. Now I'm just hoping that he's like a 71 normal dev. Ooh, little late round hit a dev D tackle action. Board looked terrible. That's an absolute. I don't know how, but we'll take it. Show fullback some love. Cam Rich, hidden dev, fullback late. One of the few teams still use a fullback. Got a nice little day 3 tight end. We're on a roll of just finding hidden devs. Look at this. Elite strength, big time athlete. I'm expecting 70. Could be in the 70s. So even though we got 2/3 of our draft board, still feel pretty good. We got some nice devs. Earl Lowry, second round. Trading out. We get that future first. Love that. 72 hidden dev D tackle. Daniel Porter, 73 hidden dev corner. Calvin Shields did roll dev trade 63 overall, though. Interesting. Like, again, I had no idea how that guy was going to be dev trade. Cam Rich, easily looked like the best fullback. Had a bunch of elite traits. 73 hidden dev. Hilton, 66. We got a 68 corner here. Larry Jones. Finishing up the draft. I got to go see, though. The one guy we missed. No. Normal dev, I guess. But oh my god, dude, that is a miss. Jesus, come on. Third round? I would have paid a second round pick. 2 threes and a second. And then out of nowhere the Bengals get it. Is he like the best player in the draft? There's no way. Oh, he's up there. Ooh, Philly got an 82 linebacker. How about the Birds? What's this guy's dev? I haven't seen a linebacker like this yet. I assume this is what a generational linebacker looks like in Madden 20. Yep, there you go. He looks pretty badass. So I figure, looking at our roster here, David Montgomery really at the end of his value. Star dev, he's 27. He's about to hit that wall. Did give us some value last year as an RB2, but you always kind of wonder, like, if he wasn't there in the sim, does Jahmyr Gibbs get more rushing touchdowns? Does he go off a little bit more? So under that consideration, got some nice offers here. And I really do think I want to take this one from the Vikings. Yes, sending it within the division, not the best, but Andrew Booth hasn't really popped off as, you know, a top pick for the Minnesota Vikings. And they have questions at the running back room. Alex Madison, not the guy. So I think I'm going to take that trade. Andrew Booth is going to come in, be our third corner this year. And I'd rather a third corner that's going to start than a running back that's going to vulture from our superstar reigning offensive rookie of the year. For the Detroit Lions, going into year 2 after a disappointing exit last year, we're definitely a stronger squad. On the offensive side, Gibbs is a superstar now. Amon-Ra St. Brown's an X factor. We added Cesar Ruiz at right guard to really give us a complete offensive line. I don't know how many more offensive line units can say they're as well-rounded as us. You think Philly, but I mean, they're going to start facing some retirements with Kelsey and Lane Johnson getting up there in age a little bit. And at least for the NFC, like, it's probably between Philly and Detroit, unless, like, I have a glaring omission. Running through all the teams right now, just quickly analyzing in my brain. Yeah, I don't think there's a better offensive line. So that is going well for us. Defensively, this is where we're going through a little bit of changes. Lowry is going to start at defensive tackle with a Lee McNeil. Actually, I didn't even know. Lee McNeil went up dev trade. He was normal dev last year, had a breakout scenario last year as well. And he gets the start dev, which is nice. That helps the interior there. So maybe we can get a little bit more of a pass rush from people not named Aidan Hutchinson. But we're going to go Porter, our gigantic 6'4" corner, is going to start. And now we've been kind of getting by with DBs, right? We classify our guys as DBs because we have CJ, GJ, and Brian Branch. However, with the addition of Andrew Booth, I'm going to put Andrew Booth in the slot because for whatever reason, man, they have just been suggesting and trying to force Brian Branch as our second linebacker here, which does sting a little bit for Rodrigo, but it is a noticeable jump off. And Branch handled that, you know, that star role with the Alabama Crimson Tide defense. So that's how we'll get Brian Branch on the field because, I mean, he didn't get a lot of interceptions or anything. It wasn't like he was thriving at slot. So maybe that's where Andrew Booth can kind of pop off for us. And really excited, man, for this squad. I mean, we showed last year we can have regular season success, but we absolutely fell flat on our face in the postseason. So hopefully we take some strides there here in year 2. Ooh, we're 6-3. We're great start. We are just coming off a loss. We lost week 9 against the Bills. And I will say 3 of our losses have been against teams that probably going to see in the playoffs, but we're winning the games we're expected to win. Now, take a look at our team here. Usually we just talk about contracts here. However, we had a couple hidden devs. Still waiting to see what the fullback is. We had a hidden dev D-tackle, hidden dev corner. D-tackle, don't know. Corner is X-Factor Daniel Porter. The 6'4" AA, not a great athlete, somehow gets an X-Factor role. Now, the ability selfless, kind of a bummer, right? Probably give him universal coverage. He's a physical playmaker. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. That makes up for missing on the 77 wideout. And because we didn't spend big in free agency, we have a lot of available salary cap, which is nice. We're going to pick up the 5th-year options for Jamo and Aidan Hutchinson. Looking at our squad, we got Taylor Decker at left tackle. Sure, get him to a 2-year deal. Run him into the ground. Lee McNeil, especially because he got that dev trait. I'm here for it. 4 years, get you locked in for the remainder of this rebuild. 4 years, 34, locked in. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'll go very player friendly because you are our best. You are our best player right now. Let's see where he's at the end of the year. If he's still 30 plus touchdowns, single digit picks, I think we'll commit to him. All right, well, did not see us going back-to-back 1 seeds in the NFC. I think that's a state of the NFC because the AFC has multiple teams. And you know what? The Commanders right there. We somehow had a tiebreaker. We won 4 in a row to finish the year out 12-5, which, you know, that's our ceiling, I would say, coming to this. 12 wins. Offensively, though, not... Defense, number 1 defense in the NFL. Love seeing that. But offensively, especially in like a wait and see with Mr. Goff in terms of contracts, I don't know. That's not hot, man. Not hot. 3,600 yards, 24 touchdowns. You want $100 and some million? I'm going to need to see at least 2 playoff wins to justify, right? You can be the operator of this offense, but let me see you get a playoff win after, you know, 1 and done last year. 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, Jahmyr Gibbs, solid. 12 and 10 for Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8 and 6 for Jameson Williams. Not much else. I mean, just not a prolific passing team. I mean, we are still searching for a rebuild in Madden 24 where we are like a juggernaut throwing the football. Might have to be till we wait and rebuild the Kansas City Chiefs at this point, but good numbers for St. Brown. Shouldn't be at risk of losing his X Factor. Jack Campbell continues to be an absolute monster. 124 tackles, 3 TFLs, 3 picks. Our X Factor corner, Daniel Porter, second on the team in tackles, 4 TFLs. Also had 2 interceptions. That's an outside corner, too. So, I mean, this is a guy that's probably going to win Rookie of the Year, which we're not going to go up, down depth chart, but he might make that big jump because now it's just like we got to get that base rating up now. Your X Factor, we're good to go. We got to start unlocking your abilities and stuff. So I will still take that Defensive Rookie of the Year if he potentially gets it. Hutchinson has been a freak. Houston with a great season. Honestly, Neal with a solid season. Lowry, the other top rookie, 2.5 sacks, 8 TFLs. Star Dev, not bad for a D tackle, but I will say, as disappointing as it is, not seeing Jared Goff go for 30-30 to start it, double 30s. Aidan Hutchinson being a monster is pretty awesome. And might have an opportunity at X Factor this year. 3 picks, CJ, GJ should be enough to at least keep him at Superstar Dev for another season. Looking at the yearly awards, MVP goes to Patrick Mahomes. In the NFC, Jalen Hurts, Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Micah Parsons, to Aidan Hutchinson. Top 3, Offensive Rookie of the Year. We have no one. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Wow, Porter down there at 4. Luckily, we already got the dev trait, so it's not that big of a deal. Jared Goff, yeah, that's not... you're way down there, and you want $150 million. Jahmyr Gibbs, number 7 running back. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the top 5 wide receiver. Cesar Ruiz, our lone free agent signing, comes in. Top 3 offensive linemen in the conference. Love seeing that. Aidan Hutchinson, runner-up. To Micah Parsons for D lineman of the year. CJ GJ making the top 5 for defensive backs. So it's kind of eerily similar to last year. We're pretty happy for the most part, especially on the defense, with our individual success. We somehow had an impressive record and won the division and got the first round bye. But we are going to have to see as we meet up with the Bears. We need to see playoff victories, or else I don't think I can in good conscience give that much money to Jared Goff. I'm not saying you got to win me the Super Bowl this year, but can you get us to a Super Bowl? So we got the Bears now. Both offenses pretty shit. Solid defense for Chicago. They like to run the football. We know their mantra, with Justin Fields. We are the number 1 defense in the NFL, and we get a victory. Okay, Mr. Goff. Now I'm just uncertain. Before I was like, there's no chance how I'm going to be. Now I'm uncertain. Can you beat, if you get us in the Super Bowl, year 2, I might have to give you, and even that's a pretty shit game, to be honest with you. Man, he is not making it easy to justify giving him a contract. Jamar Jefferson, 8 as RB2 there. Jameson Williams, 93 yards. Defensively, Jack Campbell, tackle machine. Angeloni McNeil with the sacks. And unfortunately, looks like it's going to be just one of those years where even if we find a way to beat Dallas, the OP team in the NFC, probably going to run into the Chiefs on the other side. But year 2 of a 5-year rebuild with the Detroit Lions, and in year 2 we're in the NFC Championship game, probably better than expected, I think. So we'll spend the upgrade there, get Jonah Jackson up to an 80 overall. Maybe that'll be enough to pound the rock and protect Jared Goff against Micah Parsons, who's absolutely absurd. Super Bowl on the line, come on. It's the most predictable Super Bowl you possibly... Come on, number... We're the number 1 defense in the NFL. Number 1 defense. Number 1! There's no one else. 49 Who tests this shit? Who tests franchise mode sim? Who does this? Who? I'll do it for free. So closing on the regular season. Man, I thought Rich might have had a dev trade. I thought there was a shot. I thought did he lose it? Made the Pro Bowl, which is cool. Man, I thought when I upgraded, I saw that there was like ability. Whatever. Started at fullback. What are we worrying about here, really? We just, number one defense, gave up 50 points. Well, for dev traits, we gained a superstar X factor on Jack Campbell. That is the only, no one else went down, to my knowledge. And Jack Campbell, the rookie, at one point was a rookie. Everyone was. But first round pick starting this rebuild, goes into year 3 as an X factor. What a pick. What a stud Jack Campbell was. Love that. I will defend that selection in the first round till the day I die. Outstanding prospect. Did that number come down? I don't know. We got to see if that number came down a little bit on Jared Goff. So we're going to pick up the 5th-year option on Hutchinson and Jameson Williams. Goff was looking for 148 in season. It has dropped down to 114. Ugh. I mean, honestly, the tag might be our best. Like, he's not going to accept this. You want to play for a new team? I feel like we tag him and see what the market, like, well, you know, what's on the market. Worst case, tag and trade, I guess, if there's someone that's like, holy shit, let's sign this guy. Are you kidding me? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do here? Technically, letter of the law, as of today, has not signed a contract with the Bengals. Oh, man. Like, this is just one of those moments in time. This ends up being our first rebuild that we don't. And there's no realistic tag. We're just doing a rebuild. He's interested. Oh, what do we do? I'm trying to think. If people are going to say C4, that was the dumbest thing that ruined this rebuild. It never happened. I hate it. Why'd you do this for my Detroit Lions? Or also, I can see Detroit Lions fans going, fuck yeah, Joe Burrow, let's go, let's win a couple. Looking at the available players. Assuming we're probably going to eat. I don't have the salary. What about player friendly? I mean, I don't have the salary. If you hate this, I'm rebuilding every team twice, right? There'll be a realistic rebuild. But if you hate this, chill out. Chill out. Imagine sticking with Goff. And then, you know, year 4 or 5 comes around. You're not going to be able to win a Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback. Second-year quarterback. It's unlikely. I don't know. I feel like most people aren't going to hate this. And I feel like if you do hate this, we're rebuilding Detroit again. But now we're going to all focus forward. We got ourselves a franchise. This might be the last time to do it because I always go with what real life. Like if Nick Bosa showed up. Like he's been a top guy. I've been waiting for that. The right rebuild. He signed in real life. New contract with the Niners. And until that contract gets updated in the roster update, I'm just not going to sign Nick Bosa. He's not going to be available. We did it last year, Madden 23 with the older rebuilds. Guys that actually got signed in contracts, we don't. This is probably the last time because it's still up in the air with Joe Burrow. Whether or not the Bengals are going to play him, this might be our only opportunity because I imagine they're going to want to get that contract sorted maybe even before Sunday. So, there's your new quarterback. Let's see what the hell we can get for, probably get like a 5th-round pick for Goff, but let's do it. So going to the trade funder for Jared Goff, the Bears and Jets are really high on Jared Goff. Really high. High on something. Big set for the Jets. They have no quarterback on their roster. So with them up with a more reasonable counteroffer here. 2nd and 3rd round pick in this upcoming draft. And the only reason why I threw those players in there is just they needed to get like $2 million worth of salary cap. So we get a 71 corner and Izzy Abanikanda to come in and be our RB2 behind Jahmyr Gibbs. So I picked 30 in the 1st round. I'm gonna Now it's a little bit of realization. It's like anytime, like you just. I do feel like our roster is built to be on like an affordable contract, and we do not have that anymore. So I don't know, like Aidan, Hutchinson, like these guys, when it comes time to pay the piper, are we gonna have enough money? Hope so. Sewell's contract's up next. Would really hate to not give Joe Burrow the offensive line he's been screaming for. But to make our pick here in the first round, we got Isaiah Jones, looks solid. He's your classic, move him inside to D tackle, but A tackle, B power move looks fairly nice. Bit of skill set. In terms of needs, we're kind of BPA here. I did scout a linebacker that looked really, really good. He had 3 A's. I didn't get any more information out of him. He was like 50-some%. This guy looks ridiculous, but he's a day 3 linebacker, so we can kind of wait there a little bit. We got our corners. Another year scouting corners. Last year we got ourselves an X Factor, and it looks like Da-Man. I mean, we do need a... We do, we don't. Do need a slot, don't need a slot. No Dev. I mean, come on. Top 5 true talent. You're taking that every day of the week. Ass end of the first round. I feel like we just keep rolling these corners. There's no one else worth drafting this spot. And we get, hopefully, always with Da-Man, top 5 talent. We come back, Macintosh, double A's, get the dev trait. We got a lot of youth movement here in the secondary. So what happened last time, we had a steal. And we just weren't aggressive enough to get him. Let up just a 77 wide receiver fall through the cracks. So we're not going to do that with Sierra here at linebacker. 3 A's and a B. Elite acceleration, elite speed. Yeah, that's a slam dunk. Ooh, kind of found this guy in the rough. Nothing too crazy about him, but was like a decent athlete. Damian Connor, hidden dev. If the books get a little tight, someone like Sam Laporta's contract coming up, not the worst idea to have an emergency plan in case things get a little expensive. So take a look at our draft recap. I'm a little annoyed that like BPA tends to be corners more often than not, but Da-Man, 78 normal at pick 30. Then we double back up. Quincy McIntosh, 76 hidden dev. Sierra, who was, I don't even know, 4th round pick, projected 76 hidden dev. What a stud. I need this guy to exist like when it comes time for our Cardinals draft. That's a stud right there, man. He's already like better than Rodrigo. A little bit of a whiff there. We got a 71 Enrique Ford. He's going to be an outside linebacker. That hidden dev tight end, Damian Connor, 76. Okay. Had a lot of picks this year. We got multiple first rounders next year, which is great. But I mean, where do we guys stack? Who is the freaks in this class? Oh, it's like a Daniel Jones pick. I've 63. What about this guy makes you draft him there? Like if he had like 97 throw power and everything else sucked, I'm like, okay, have you seen a worse pick? And another year we're corners, 4 corners in the top 5. All right. Look at us. Who thought we'd be here? Joe Burrow, man under center for the Detroit Lions. Man, that's going to bring us Super Bowl right here. Right there. Last opportunity we're ever going to have, probably signing Joe Burrow in a rebuild. We're going to make the most of this opportunity here. And we're going to relish in the opportunity that has presented itself via free agency. And it starts off, honestly, week 1, 2. We got the Bengals week 1. So what I'm doing in terms of the offense, we hit on a really nice tight end, and we have so little depth. I'm going to put our tight end here at wide receiver 3, just because it mattered. Like, can't in a sim, can't really run 12-man personnel. So this is as close as we're going to be able to get. On the defense looking good. Secondary, it's never been stronger. Porter, X Factor, looking to step up. Sierra's going to have an opportunity that was great value in the draft. And optimism is high that Aidan Hutchinson is going to continue to be unblockable. And hopefully he can get and be that final 3rd X Factor that we can get on the defense. But optimism now with Joe Burrow on the Super Bowl. Every year. Year 3, 4, and 5. Here in this rebuild, Super Bowl is the goal now that we have a quarterback. And as I stated, what a perfect match. Who is the replace? Like, who, how? Obviously, this wasn't intended by the Bengals, right? Clearly, Cincinnati offered Joe Burrow. They are known as a cheap franchise. Oh, man, I hope we beat them by 50. Really? You fumbled that bad, Cincinnati? Didn't pay Joe Burrow? Like, nah, we'll just go Kirk Cousins. Jacoby Brissett, like the who's who of backups. We win. We get a weekly award winner. Who is it? We made the right call. We made the right call, man. From here on out, anytime something good happens with Joe Burrow, imagine where we'd be just sticking with Goff for the sake of sticking with Goff. Come the midway point of year 3, the first year of the Joe Burrow era, and at least like the wins haven't dropped off. Look at the offense. You get what you pay for. 6-2, sit out the note. Now here's the worries. Paying Joe Burrow, are we gonna have enough to pay everybody else? And obviously the priority is Sewell. You know, when you look at how we've been drafting, we have just been acquiring defensive backs. You know, we lose Curry Joseph. We already have CJ GJ. We can move Brian Branch to one of the safety spots. We have so much depth at corner. We just drafted a linebacker replacement. I think in terms of players that are available, you know, we get Sewell across the line. You know, we're good. We have cover, at least at all the other spots. So we're out from 6 years, 150 mil. We're going to need a little bit more, but we'll get that one across the line. We gave $1 million more. That's all it needed. That's all it needed to mend that bridge. Sewell locked in for the remainder of the rebuild, protecting Joe Burrow. And the standard's the standard. The standard's been set. We are the top dogs in the North until we can be proven otherwise. And while our offense did drop off a little bit, still round that out. Top 10 offense, top 3 defense in the NFL, 13-4. First round, we've got the first round by like 3 straight seasons here. I mean, Dallas is right there with us. 49ers weren't too shabby this year, but we have definitely been the creme de la creme in the regular season in the NFC. It's just, you know, we need Joe Burrow to be the guy that can lead this team in the playoffs. And I guess we're just one of these offenses. Man, I am not the only one, right? That's just zero consistency in the passing offense. Like, you're lucky to hit 30. Madden 20, like, they clearly tuned it down. In Madden 23, it was a bad year. It almost felt like if you didn't get 35. But I don't know. I feel like they might have nerfed passing touchdown just a little bit. All things considered, we got too much talent. But then again, you look at it, it's just like, holy shit, look at the rushing touchdowns. 3 for Gibbs, 6 for Abacanda, 3 for Joe Burrow, 10 from Sean Cleveland. Fullback gets another one. So, you know, offense is still potent, but it's just, I don't know. Huge year, St. Brown, Jameson Williams, close to 1,000. Connor was solid. Sam Laporta was solid. Defensively, Campbell tackle machine. Aidan Hutchinson, his worst season, still acceptable. 17 TFLs, 10.5 sacks on 75 total tackles. 2 picks, interceptions, maybe down a little bit. But I don't know. I would have loved to sit here and be like, man, Joe Burrow, 40 touchdowns. That's not the game Madden 24 is. And if you get that, you might get it like 1 year out of the blue. 1 or 2 years tops in a 5-year period. So I don't know. Does that mean like it's a strong wide receiver class? If there's a generational wide receiver, is that what we need? Do we need to get like our Calvin Johnson replacement? Don't know. No award winners? I mean, just come on, man. 25 touchdowns. It's like you're cutting the balls off our offense just for... I don't know. It's like something like, you know, I've had enough hours sunk into Madden 24 to be like playbook, sim stuff, not as overpowered. It's like the extremes, right? Do you want the extreme of like the Bucks, whoever their quarterback is, regardless of rating, getting 40 touchdowns a year? No. Do you want pretty much every offense, if you're like even a remotely run-focused team, regardless of your quarterback rating, never throwing like 30 touchdowns is like his ceiling? That's also not good. Like, I feel like there's a balance in there. I don't know, that could be tuned in a patch, but I didn't just pay $400 million for Joe Burrow to throw 25 touchdowns, given the fact that I got Amon-Ra, I got skill position guys. Like, we have a passing offense. 99, 98, 87. And he's like almost like a receiving back. All right. Get this over with. Somehow we're probably going to lose. Maybe we'll win. Is Joe Burrow good enough to beat a team that can actually throw the football for some reason? Probably not. Lost to Dallas last year. They scored 50 this year. We beat them. We beat them! Fuck Dallas! Let's go! We win 20. Let's look at the playoff run. Did Joe Burrow heat up? I mean, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Not bad. Gibbs went off. Shout out Khalif Raymond, Aidan Hutchinson, 3 TFLs. Brian Sierra, the rookie linebacker there with the interception. 35-30. Hey. Like, where's this, though, in like, the regular season? Like, if Joe Burrow put up these 2 games, he's having 35 touchdowns, 4,000 yards. Where is the consistency? That's all I want. I want consistency. I don't want every team throwing for 40 touchdowns. But when your team's good, yeah, let them throw for 40 touchdowns. Defense, that Sierra guys stepping up, making plays. And in year 3, setting up just an old school type Super Bowl finale. Pittsburgh Steelers, Detroit Lions. Joe Burrow knows a thing or two about the Pittsburgh Steelers and beating them. What's the tail of the tape here? Number 11 offense, number 3 defense against a number 8 offense, number 12 defense. So, you know, and they're an 87 overall. This is a close one. I don't think there's a lot of room for me to be super triggered if we end up losing this one. That is a good Steelers team. But it would be kind of awesome for Joe Burrow to win the Super Bowl 1 year after leaving Cincinnati. He's been to the Super Bowl before. And look at this opening drive. Phenomenal. Chew up the pretty much entirety of the first quarter. Get a touchdown. Pittsburgh does score really quickly there, though. Getting long-ass drives by Detroit. Another touchdown. Just chewing away the clock. We're into the second half. Up 7. Pittsburgh went for it on 4th down to get the touchdown. Coming once. Coming once. How do they cover Jameson Williams? That's my question. How are you going to stop my 99 speed wide receiver? We have no timeouts, but if you got to let me make this easy completion and have him going across midfield, we'll let the sim finish it. We're going to win. We go to overtime. They kicked the field goal. Come on. Can't have nice things. Can't fucking have nice things. But, got 2 more years. Hopefully, we'll be back. So with the signing of Joe Burrow, probably going to be sitting out free agency for the remainder of this rebuild. We got to prioritize now re-signing our own guys. Aidan Hutchinson needs to get paid. That's probably the big one. But the big win for our squad, while we can't spend, is Joe Burrow with the lackluster pass numbers. We still didn't lose any of our X factors, so that is a win. On the defensive side, we gained an X factor in Aidan Hutchinson. Ford's going to slide over to linebacker, but it doesn't really matter because it's still going to be primarily these 2 guys. We shuffled around the secondary a little bit. CJ, GJ at strong safety, moving Brian Branch to free safety to replace Kirby Joseph. And, yeah. In this rebuild, we have drafted... That'll do. Yeah, that'll do. We've drafted 2 X Factor corners. And McIntosh was our second swing. That was like, we went man in the first round. And McIntosh was like, well, you know, let's add some corner depth. 2 X Factors at corners. They grow on trees. I remember back in our first draft, we decided to trade with the Cleveland Browns to pick up an additional first-round pick. Oh, the Browns were terrible. It's just a top 5 selection. Cool, right? That'll do. So with the 4th overall pick, we got some guys. We don't need another corner. So we got 2 wide receivers here. We have Vaughn Buckley, 6'2", 215 at LSU, 3 A's and a B. Combine looks, you know, elite strength, elite jumping's fine, good. I'm a little worried about the speed, to be honest with you. Or we have Tracy Phillips, another top 5, 3 A's and a C, 6'5", 230, and he's you know, similar athlete, probably a little bit faster. Be it 6'5", running a 4.43, has elite jumping. Great, I don't know. And you know what? I kind of hope one of these guys gets picked so the board makes it, you know, it kind of orders itself for us. But right now, we are projected to have our shot really at any of these guys. I mean, you know, with full respect to the other corner here, Oscar Barkley, 3 A's and a B. I mean, not a lot of straight line. I'm leaning towards like the guy that most likely could be Megatron, which is Tracy Phillips, because, you know, if we throw everything we can at Joe Burrow to get this freaking offense going. You know, what do? Do we switch to like Bengals playbook? I don't know. Please be Megatron. Just be like an 80, 70, 80 would be cool. We didn't have to trade multiple first round picks. So he kind of just came as is, but being 6'5", 230 with 97 jumping, 91 speed. To quote the great Tim Robertson, yeah, that'll do. That'll do. And we have pick 31 in the first round. We're really BPA right now. Let's, with the clock running. Who's BPA? Can we find one? Is it going to talk to us? It's probably going to be a corner. Ooh, double A here on a safety. Don't need one, but it's good to know. Double B and an A. Not much there. You know, if I wanted one area, I wouldn't hate beefing up the defensive line. Get another pass rusher on board if we could. And we got a couple. Ronnie Roseman. Oof. Ugh. I mean, if one of these guys is a decent athlete, just draft him and move him inside a D tackle. 41 reps at DN is pretty impressive there for Mr. Danny Allen. Corey Peterson, I appreciate he doesn't put the E in his name. I think I speak for all Corys in agreement with that. Screw it. We got the wideout. Hopefully Danny Allen doesn't suck. We roll a dev trait. I'll do. Moment of truth. Do we make the right call? 3 guys, top 5 talents. Okay. Do we just... Wow. I would say, for all Detroit Lions fans out there watching this, I think we go this year with Detroit Lions playbook and see if it's just like, can you throw enough assets to actually get a passing offense? And then if not, because we got Joe Burrow, maybe year 5, Super Bowl or bust, if it gets to that, we go to like a Bengals playbook just because we know Joe Burrow can thrive in a Bengals playbook. But Tracy Phillips, pair that with Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Jameson Williams. Ridiculous. We got Danny Allen here, who might actually go up when we move him inside a D tackle. 74 DN, clearly a defensive tackle in our scheme. Goes from 74 to a 77 even day. There you go. That's how you have a draft. That's how you have a draft year 4. But I do want to look at the other 2 players. We made the right call. Oof, 82 linebacker. I didn't see that coming. Von Buckley's 80 and Barkley is 79. But because we went wide out, Von Buckley, hidden dev. What is the dev trade? I feel very optimistic getting an 84 base rating that our guy's dev trade is not going to be a star. But Buckley has the X factor. Pressure is on Phillips to also have an X factor. All right. Year 4, we're kind of dealing with a super team. I really think the only thing holding this team back is, things that aren't really in my control, even though it is my control because I changed the playbook. But we'll see, man. I'm going to give Detroit Lions one more opportunity, and then if not, Dan Campbell's going to have to make a change at the offensive coordinator and offensive philosophy standpoint because we need to maximize the talent that we have on this roster, and we just added a freaking Megatron Jr. to the squad. Defensively, we've drafted 2 X Factors in the corners. Jack Campbell and Aidan Hutchinson have developed into X Factors. We have the best secondary in the NFL. 87 X Factor, 82 X Factor, 84, 92, 85. This should be first round bye. This is a Super Bowl winning team. Year 4 and year 5. And halfway through year 4, 7-0. This is a team. Why are our numbers so shit, dude? Oh, it's so annoying. I mean, Joe Burrow on pace for 24 touchdowns. Fuck, we're doing it now, man. This is stupid. I'm not gonna do it every rebuild, but maybe it's just me. I guess all these teams that I'm rebuilding early on in Madden 24 are all run first teams. So what we're gonna do here, we are gonna, our team's built similar to Cincinnati, so we're gonna go Cincinnati. We're going to go the scheme fit of Cincinnati. Please let my quarterback play to his ratings. That's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking to cheese system. Not the last thing I want to do. Cheese the system. That's lame, right? It's not like every rebuild we're going to go and put the Kansas City Chiefs playbook in so my quarterback goes for 50. I don't want that. I just want my guys playing their ratings. That's all I want. And I know that Joe Burrow can play really, really well in the Cincinnati system. So let's go with that. We do have a breakout defensive lineman here week 8. It is James Houston. This is probably the 4th or 5th time he's tried to get off this start. God bless him for keep trying to, better himself. Let's see if we can win this one, and then we'll take a look at our contracts, which is really the last big hurdle of this rebuild. Outside of trying to get Joe Burrow to throw for more than 24 touchdowns in a given year. And James Houston got his dev trait. Finally, busting his ass. Superstar dev for him. Putting that on the other side of Aidan Hutchinson. We've had a lot. Like this is an outstanding rebuild for team development, for drafting, for everything in the middle. Now we got $70 million to try to keep all these guys in the building. We'll start with Aidan Hutchinson, locked in. Jamison Williams, don't necessarily need him, but, if we're going to commit all in on the offensive side of the ball, kind of need to. We'll get Brian Branch on a 4-year deal. We'll get Sam Laporta. Don't have to pay him. We actually have a pretty decent backup. I think we'll probably make the decision to kind of wait there and see if we can pay everyone else because we have depth. We'll get Frank Ragnow signed up. We'll get Taylor Decker signed up, 2-year deal. Keep the offensive line together. Not overly worried about the special teamers or anything like that. So, yeah, we're good. We're good. Made it work. Made the salary cap work. Just to see if it doesn't do Madden things. Who's going to be the team that beats us? Is it going to be the 0-8 Miami Dolphins with nothing to play for? Are they going to somehow beat the final remaining undefeated team in the NFL? Of course they did. Thanks, Madden. All right. 15-2. Hey, look at the... Okay. Did the playbook... I mean, it wasn't a full season. Did we get 30? Oh, we got 30! You make the argument. That's not even cheese. Those are reasonable numbers for the offense that we have right now. Love seeing that from Gibbs, 12 and 17. Love seeing Amon-Ra still eat. Trace Phillips, what's the dev? It has to be at least superstar, right? Needed to be an X Factor, though, because the other wide receiver that we passed on was X Factor. Oh! Oh, no. Is that good enough for... I mean, maybe he gets Rookie of the Year and gets... Oh, that is... you'd make that, right? The other guy was, what, an 80 X Factor. Would you rather an 80 X Factor or an 84 star? Probably almost unanimously, everyone's picking that X Factor. Oh, man, that's... All right, whatever. Well, we can endure that. We can endure that. He's not even our wide receiver 1. Jack Campbell... Awesome. He's been incredible in this rebuild. Aidan Hutchinson also has been incredible in this rebuild. 9 sacks from Earl Lowry, the D tackle. Love seeing that. Maybe more interceptions across the board in the secondary, given the fact that McIntosh, X Factor, Porter, X Factor. But you can't measure a secondary success purely off of turnovers. So we're good there. Joe Burrow, number 8 in the MVP race. Individual awards, looking for some Detroit Lions. Tracy Phillips does win Offensive Rookie of the Year, beating out Von Buckley, the X Factor wide receiver. So hopefully we can at least... kind of break even when all is said and done in his rookie season, get Phillips up to a superstar, which is what I kind of thought was his floor, to be honest with you. Joe Burrow was run out for quarterback of the year. Frank Ragnow, lineman of the year. That is a potential superstar boost for our center. Very, very nice center. Aidan Hutchinson, top 3. It's kind of where, that's been a battle. Aidan Hutchinson has been chasing Micah Parsons for most of this rebuild to be regarded as the best defensive lineman in the NFC. But amongst all the issues with the Cowboys, Micah Parsons being insane is not one of them. He should be insane. It's kind of everybody else. So we kick off our playoff journey here against the New York Giants. Barely, although that's the scary New York Giants. You never want to see a barely above 500 New York Giant team in the playoffs. That's the most dangerous New York Giants. I also think the New York Giants want to see a Joe Burrow-led 91 overall Detroit Lions team with a 95 offense. They have the top 5 offense, the number 1 defense in the NFL. We all know the number 1 defense doesn't really matter. We've gone to the playoffs with the number 1 defense before and gave up 49 points to the Dallas Cowboys with the Super Bowl on the line. But we're able to handle business here in the first round easily. Joe Burrow, player of the week, 4 tutties, 300 yards. Aidan Hutchinson, 1 sack. So, I don't know, man. I don't want to sit here and admit that Madden 24 is all about playbooks. But it is. It is, and I know. I've had developers tell me it's playbooks. Right? It's not, that's not insider baseball. That's not nothing. Everyone knows. It clearly is playbooks. If you've ever played this game, it's playbooks. I think this year, it's less about playbooks than it has been years past. But there's clearly a hurdle certain teams have. There's ceilings. There's just ceilings on passing attacks. That's playbook specific, and that ceiling is never adjusted based upon the talent you have. I don't know what sort of coding needs to happen. I don't know if that's going to be something that'll be fixed on PC mods, but that is definitely a hurdle that franchise mode needs to solve. I would definitely prioritize that if that can ever be tuned. I don't know. It could be something where franchise mode is currently attached to a system that the playbooks will always be the deciding factor. But hey, if the workaround is just change your playbooks up every now and again to get better results, it's not the end of the world, but it's just definitely not where it needs to be. So we got the Carolina Panthers, 13-4, and they're Bryce Young got them boys playing. Top 10 offense, top 3 defense overall. We got the breakout scenario for the linebacker, so that could be a nice silver lining if we can get to but if not, Super Bowl or bust, we find it. We do get the dub. Beautiful. Enrique Ford did not hit on his dev trait, but I think, my 74 normal dev linebacker that doesn't primarily play, I'll take the Super Bowl appearance over that. Oh, wow. We've narrowly avoided having to try and beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, but the Colts beat the Chiefs. Maybe they're more dangerous. But looking at our bracket in the NFC Championship game, 35-21, our super team. And these are the numbers that we should be putting up offensively. So I think, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 10 catches, 210 yards, 3 touchdowns in the sim. Aidan Hutchinson eats as well. Hey, there's the people that would complain that this rebuild sucks because I moved and switched to the Bengals playbook are the same people that just probably already clicked off when I signed Joe Burrow in free agency. But I think to the masses, to the most of you, everyone that's still watching, there's no shame in changing your playbook because, if you're not getting your desired results, maybe don't go Chiefs because Chiefs are S tier. But if you have a team that should be a better passing team, it's realistic to change your playbooks. It's realistic that if this was my team in real life, if I was Dan Campbell and I did not want to get fired, and my team invested $400 million in my quarterback, we have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's ridiculous. We got Phillips, who got his superstar dev for winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. But you have all this investment, first round pick, right? And you're not performing. You're not giving what you should be. It's like you're either going to get fired or you're going to make a change. So the realistic approach to changing your playbook to switch it up a little bit is like you're firing your OC. I want to bring in someone different. And in this case, I had a year of Joe Burrow. Wow, that sucked. Maybe if Cincinnati had a quarterback coach Joe Burrow really liked, recommended him, comes from that Cincinnati coaching tree, bring him in. He's our new offensive coordinator. What playbook would you run? Cincinnati. So it's not that hard to spin it. I would just say if you're doing it and you want to try to keep it somewhat reasonable, don't go Kansas City. But I'm happy with the call to do this. We can't upgrade Joe Burrow. He's as good as he possibly can be to take on Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts. Detroit, top 5 offense, number 1 defense. Indianapolis, number 2 offense in the NFL, 17th defensively. We are the better squad. Let's finish this rebuild out with 2 straight Super Bowls. There's always a chance, though, I feel like this sim, the play of the moment sim, gives you a little bit different results than the just straight up simming the game. I don't know. That's tinfoil hat there. But opening drive, we do start with 7. We get 2 straight tutties. 14-0. We're at this point right now. Yeah, give me my Super Bowl. I've done everything. We've got the perfect roles. We've drafted perfectly. We got Joe Burrow in free agency. There shouldn't be any other moves on this chessboard of winning a Super Bowl with Detroit that I need to make for me to win this whole goddamn thing. And this is the ass kicking we deserved to get, especially after that Dallas loss. 45-10. Detroit, your first Super Bowl. All you need is for somehow, some way, Joe Burrow to leave Cincinnati. And as of today, he's not signed. He is not signed. It could happen. That could be your dream. I wish, in a perfect scenario, we could have stuck with Jared Goff, had Jared Goff develop into an X factor, live up to the first overall pick potential, and bring it home with old Jared Goff. Redemption arc complete. Wasn't happening. And above all, we had to win a Super Bowl. And to do that, we need to bring in Joe Burrow. To do that, we need to fire our offensive coordinator, bring in someone that knows Joe Burrow. They call the plays. And there we go, man. Year 4 Super Bowl. Happy that we avoided a year 5 Super Bowl or bust. Now, pressure has been lifted. We're playing with house money. Our squad has been re-signed. Our team is not going to regress. We're only going to get better to run it back in year 5 to hopefully stack another Super Bowl. And just looking at the quick snapshot here, easy Super Bowl MVP, Joseph Burrow. You know what? To make it as realistic as I possibly can, our OC and DC got poached, so I hired Marshawn Wallace, who's Cincinnati. He was a Cincinnati playbook OC. So we are now in line with everything that we need to be what we are, which is Super Bowl champions as Cincinnati Bengal-inspired offense with Detroit Lion-inspired defense. We actually have enough money to at least offer a contract to Sam Laporta. All right, never mind. Look at that face, man. That is a punchable face. All right, I love doing this. Pressure time. Draft didn't pay attention to a single thing in this draft. Don't know anybody. We're picking last. Let's find the best player. Somehow, some way, let's get the number 1 true talent. All right, minimum, get someone that's a freak. Wow, would not have thought any of these wide receivers would be particularly good, but they're pretty good. Ooh. That guy looks good. Hoskins, AA off the rip. Can always add alignment. AA there to start the tackle with the 2 least important attributes. Something else I would like to see tuned, if we can. Can we get less 3-4 defensive ends? Just, pass rushers are few and far between in these generated draft classes. Ooh, that guy looks nice. A linebacker. A lot of B's, a lot of straight B's there. One of these guys is a freak athlete. He's probably going to be the guy we want. Zach Moats. So draft recap, he's still, 76, 276s. 76 normal for Moats. Grab one of the wide receivers that we actually scouted was still available, falling 70. And we got BJ Parsons, 76 slot wide receivers. Mostly now in Madden 24. Back in the Madden 23, you'd get plenty of high 70 guys late round because those are the guys that ran the 4-2s. They existed like trees. But the guys that are late rounders in Madden 24 tend to be the slot wide receiver archetypes. Year 5, defending our Super Bowl champion. Let's meet our Detroit Lion super team. 95 offense, 92 overall. Yeah, we did it. Frank Ragnow, now a superstar dev after winning Lineman of the Year. The real only change is at the tight end spot. Sam Laporta wanted to move on, so we are going to be going with Damian Connor as our new starting tight end. Only like, what, a 2-3 overall point drop-off. Not expecting anything too crazy in terms of, tight end never really ate in this offense anyways. And big thing on the offense, full year with the new offense. The new offense. Not Detroit's offense. That new offense. Full year of that. Kind of interested to see what the ceiling is for this offense. I'm excited for that. Defensively, we got our 4 X factors that are awesome. We lost the superstar dev on Houston, that was harsh for him to lose that. I don't think he did anything to really lose that, but Macintosh up here just looks a little better having all the red guys as our clear starters. We had the Super Bowl. The pressure's off, but clearly another year that we should be running it back. Well, I'm pleasantly surprised with the switch here, year 5, where we go from a running team to a passing team to maximize strength of the squad, and this might very well be the best team we've had so far in a rebuild. 94 overall, 96 offense, 94 defense. We go 14-3. We've had the first round bye every year, if not, a little bit of a brain fart here. Almost every year. Look at Joe Burrow. Look at Joe Burrow go. Look at Tracy Phillips. Was bummed out that he wasn't an X factor. Look at him now. 3rd best wide receiver in the NFL. Joe Burrow, 4,800 yards passing, 43 touchdowns, 4 picks. We just had to find someone that knew how to utilize Joe Burrow. 11 and 18 for Joe Burrow. And we're running the ball better on top of everything. 101 catches, 1,500 yards, 17 touchdowns. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 106 catches, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns for Megatron 2.0 Tracy Phillips. Decent year from everybody else. Defensively, Jack Campbell's been incredible in this rebuild. Aidan Hutchinson has been incredible in this rebuild. 16 TFLs, 21 sacks. Oh, CJGJ, 8 picks, 5 for the X Factor. Daniel Porter, insane. MVP Joe Burrow. Man, I was like, I'm going to put Aidan Hutchinson in the thumbnail. I'm going to see if there's a Joe Burrow jersey swap for the line somehow when he was coming out of LSU. Because that is unreal. That's probably the one thing we haven't been able to conquer this rebuild is Aidan Hutchinson has been chasing Micah Parsons all year long in the NFC. Joe Burrow, quarterback of the year. Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver of the year. Sewell, lineman of the year. CJ, GJ, DB, 1 and 2. Incredible. I mean, looking at the stats here, what everyone's been able to achieve, obviously quarterback, take that with a grain of salt. But running the ball, 5,900 yards, 57 touchdowns for Jahmyr Gibbs. 8,700 yards, 71 tutties for the X Factor, Amon-Ra St. Brown. 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns for J-Mo. 22 and 18 for Phillips through 2 seasons here in the NFL. Defensively, Jack Campbell finishes the rebuild. Over 600 tackles, 21 TFLs, 7 sacks, 13 picks. We got 84 sacks, 93 TFLs for Hutchinson. 36.5 sacks, James Houston. 31 pick, 31! That's more than I think any rebuild I had in Madden 23. Obviously, he does have a baseline here, but I mean, awesome turnover numbers for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Jack Campbell, incredible 8 picks there for Porter. You know what? This is my favorite rebuild we've done so far in Madden 24. It's early, very early. And obviously, we've had the team success to go along with it. But I think for the absurdity, if you get past the absurdity of us signing Joe Burrow as a free agent, hell to the yeah. So we got the divisional round here against the Rams. We're playing with house money, but definitely want to repeat for how good our team is as Super Bowl. No. What? Double overtime loss? MVP Joe Burrow, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Double overtime loss. Joe Burrow, MVP. And he also had 61 yards rushing on 11 attempts. Like, at some point in time, man, these rebuilds seem like they switched my playbook before. Like, oh, we got the Ravens playbook this game for some reason. And literally, as I was gassing this up as my favorite rebuild, imagine if we didn't win the Super Bowl last year. Imagine this is how it ends. Super team, MVP, can't be stopped. And then once again, my elite defense gives up fucking 40 points. Well, we'll focus on the positives. This team is sick. We made the Detroit Lions into a powerhouse. We won the Super Bowl. Does that make up for really 2 brutal playoff losses? This one and the Cowboys loss in the championship game. You know, we definitely, if you pile all that in, maybe this rebuild isn't as good as it could have been, for sure. There's been some underwhelming moments, but we still go down as a check mark. This is a successful rebuild. The streak continues till, I don't know, we'll probably, what day today? Thursday? Might have, I don't know. I kind of think we should have a rebuild on opening weekend, like have it come out Saturday or something. I don't know if time is going to permit that, because I think tomorrow we'll do Cardinals. You know, it should work out. Tomorrow, Cardinals. Saturday, another rebuild. Sunday, Pink Slips. Or maybe we do Pink Slips Saturday, another rebuild Sunday. I don't know. But for that, what team do you want to see rebuilt next? Let me know in the comment section below. I've seen a lot of Patriots. I've seen a lot of suggestions to rebuild. That's a hot button. When I came on Twitter, said I want to do it. If I'm doing the Browns, we're using DTR, Dorian, Thompson, Robinson. I've seen Falcon suggestions. Let me know which team is next, people. We'll go with the most upvoted comment in the section below. If it is your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed this video of Joe Burrow being the absolute man. And honestly, outside of Joe Burrow, man, the drafting. This is now the pace car for me drafting in rebuild. We got, 86 star dev tight end drafted. 96 superstar borderline generational wide receiver drafted. Hidden dev fullback drafted. 2 X Factor corners drafted. Sierra, 4th round pick, up to an 88 star. Interior, 88, 82 detailing, and 87 corner. Even though there's no depth trait, still an 87 corner. fell right into our lap. Outstanding job on my pat myself on the back here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Love ya. Have a good one. For fantasy, for football tonight, prediction. Go Lions. Shock the world. Shock the world.